start our recording. Okay. All right. So what did you sign up for? Hoya Saxa Weekend is a really, really, really awesome and fun event. We typically, prior to COVID-19, would have flown a small group of the wonderful students who are on this call to campus from wherever you're listening in from. And we would have given you a slice of life at Georgetown from the perspective of amazing students of color, the committee that you will come to meet shortly and that you see on this screen. We typically sort of carve out a long weekend and we keep you top to bottom. We host you on campus, we show you DC, we give you the whole tea, right? And unfortunately, as a result of coronavirus, that is not something that we can do this year. But I also think on the flip side, what's really awesome is that we can reach way more of you than we could originally bring to campus. So I think that makes this extra special in that way. And we have created some really bomb stuff ahead of us. So definitely, you're getting something really special and something really intentional. And these people on the screen that you see, the wonderful committee members that I get to call my team, they are going to be guiding you through this weekend and you will learn much more about them shortly. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about Zoom etiquettes, right? Right now we're in a webinar, which means that, things aren't as free and mobile as they might be in some of the other Zoom spaces that we'll share over the course of this weekend. So typically, if you're in a Zoom room where you have the functionality to unmute yourself, we ask that you stay muted unless you raise your hand or where it's in an open forum, and we'll talk a little bit more about what those events actually look like. That being said, we are all about the energy. We are all about the reactions. You've already seen a lot of the committee members in the chat. We like to be a family, and in my family, we spend all of our time together talking over each other and having a good time. And that is what we're trying to emulate in this kind of energy. So please use reactions. Please, be active in the chat wherever you can. Ask questions. And we'll do our best to answer them as we go along. And then we'll also have tons of space where you'll be able to sit and intentionally ask questions. The last thing I want to talk about a little bit is Zoom fatigue. So we are all on Zoom all day long, everywhere. And I know that I and you are not unique in just being a little over it at times. So we have built in a lot of breaks. And also, I will say that when we are in spaces where you can show your face, don't feel obligated to. We obviously want to see you. We want to see the beautiful faces that are gracing us this weekend. And we're really excited to enjoy this space with you. But also, if you've been looking at a computer screen all day, you got a headache, you need to just be off screen for a little bit, please take that time. If you're not in a space where it's easy to be on screen or where you have the freedom to be on screen, absolutely don't inconvenience yourself in any way. We are flexible. This is a family, this is a community. We work with each other and we meet each other where we are. Okay, so what to expect? What did y'all get into by signing up for a virtual Hoya Saxa weekend? Today, specifically, you can expect just to meet some folks. We are going to start off with meeting this wonderful committee that I've been gassing up this entire time. You will meet some of the admissions staff who will also be able to answer some of those nitty-gritty questions that I absolutely have no idea. I spent a year as an admissions counselor and I ran away. You'll have an opportunity to just ask questions. You'll meet the staff of the Center for Multicultural Equity and Access, and you'll be able to ask us questions about the type of services that we provide. And you'll be able to just take notes, get an idea of what's going on. And then we will end tonight with some game time. There's some type of, I think, fun social interaction type of thing happening every day, be it a game night or something else. And yes, the awkward icebreakers are coming, but we have a lot of really fun stuff coming up, and we're actually really charming and really great. So I promise it won't be that awkward. I am sure of it. Um, Tomorrow, Friday, when you join us, we are going to jump in talking about financial aid. We know that's like the big beast of this admissions process. And while we are trying to show you a slice of life at Georgetown, we're also trying to make sure that you walk away like informed and able to make an educated decision about where you want to go to college. We're going to show you the community, but we're also going to give you, the structure. And so you're going to meet the lovely Greta Kendrick, and she is going to talk to you all about money, that thing that we all hate talking about. And after we talk about money, because we all hate talking about it, we are just going to decompress with some more game time and just be able to kick it and hang out a little bit. After that, like sort of chunk of the beginning of the early afternoon, we will actually move into something called hourglass discussions. I'm really excited for you guys to be a part of Hourglass Discussions. Every event that we have this weekend will be recorded, except for this one. And we will record everything so that you have the ability to come back to it. But the Hourglass Discussions is really an opportunity just for y'all to kick it with folks and like have real conversations. What does it mean to be a student of color on Georgetown's campus? What does it mean to be first generation on Georgetown's campus? How can I use this like really unique opportunity of college to become more of myself, and how have other people done that? So you'll be in a big room with a bunch of current students, this committee, and other students who have, intentionally done this work over their time here. And you'll just get to talk to them, and it'll be an open space. There will be some, structure in that, we want to make sure that we have an authentic conversation, but it'll really be up to y'all to guide where it goes. And then the last part of tomorrow, in my opinion, the most fun part of tomorrow, is going to be Saxa Slam. So I'm going to take a beat here, A, for the barbs, and two, for for what Saxa Slam is. So Saxa Slam has its own unique form every year. And it is just a way for students to showcase their talents. And we are doing something unique in that, because these performances are recorded because of COVID and virtual mess, we also really want you all to be a part of Saxa Slam. So if there are any budding artists in the crowd right now who want to record themselves reading poetry, singing, doing something, you can send it to us by 5 p.m. tomorrow, and we will review it to obviously make sure it's appropriate, but also we trust you guys. And we can showcase your art and your talent for everyone, including the Georgetown community and your own communities. So there is more information on this Saxa Slam in your digital grab bag, which I will talk about in a little bit, but we would love for you all to be a part of that. So that'll close out Friday. And then Saturday, we're on the East Coast, so we tried to keep things in like a middle grade-ish time for folks who are coming from all over the place. But so Friday will start off around 1 o'clock Eastern Standard, and we will jump in with, what are we jumping with? Oh yeah, diversity in the classroom. So one thing that I really want to stress about what I hope you get away from this experience is that your time at Georgetown can really be manipulated to be what you want it to be. You can use this opportunity to be very intentional about about what you take part in, so that you can get the most out of your experience. And so we'll be doing something called diversity in and out of the classroom to start off Saturday. Diversity in the classroom will be something that you will meet with a professor, perhaps a couple of students, perhaps a couple of professors, and talk about the way diversity shows up in different programs on campus. Well, I'll come back to that, but you'll be sent which diversity in the classroom experience you have been placed in. And then we'll come back together into this Zoom room and we will participate in diversity out of the classroom. And that's where you get to learn about all of the other people like us, the staff members who are going to be contributing to your experience, the resources that are going to be available to you while you're on campus. And you'll have the opportunity to sort of ask them questions about who they are and what they do. And also just get connected with folks where you can go and continue to ask questions as you continue to contemplate this like really huge and monumental decision that you're making over the course of the next couple of weeks. We will have a club fair. Our club fair will take place on actually a Georgetown platform that we will give you like access to. All of your emails have been put into this platform so that you can make an account and come and join and see sort of like the way that students get to interact on campus and spread information through this group called, or through this program called Campus Groups. So we'll have a club fair there for an hour. And then we will have coffee and chats. And those will be opportunities for you to sit in really small groups with individual students and have more of that authentic conversation that you got a taste of at the Hourglass discussion. And that hopefully will have the opportunity to be a little more intentional as well, where if you're looking specifically to talk to someone who is in the School of Business, or you're looking specifically to talk to someone who is, you know, doing art and theater on campus, we'll be able to set you up with someone who at least can speak more authentically to that. Yeah, and then we'll close it up. So we'll close it up after that, and we'll have evaluations and recordings. Actually, you'll get an evaluation after every event. It is really quick, I swear. I would not lie to you. It is so fast. You just boop, 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 make a couple of clicks, let us know how you feel about the event, send it off, and we would love for you to fill that out. And the like total eval, like the big eval will come afterwards, and you'll get that in an email. And we would also really love if you could take a few minutes to fill that out for us. I didn't, I guess, explain that much about myself, but my background is in psych and I love research and I love data. And so you would just be doing me a really cool solid if you could fill those out. And I'm sorry in advance if we're annoying and asking for you to fill those out. Please bear with us. Also, we are recording all the events we are recording right now. And so this information will be available to you afterwards. And there are a ton of different ways that we're going to make that available to you. We'll have a YouTube playlist, it'll be up on our website. And then you'll also just get tons of communication from us because we want you to love us. And so we're going to try and make stuff as available as possible. And yeah, okay, so that was a lot. You might be looking at me like I'm insane. Bear with me. You will definitely, like, all of this will be made clear. I know you've gotten tons of communication, and we also have tons of ways for you to continue to ask questions. So I'm going to plug a couple of things. We have an app called Telegram, if you guys would download. It is on all available platforms, including your computer. And we'll be sending blasts out through Telegram, just reminding people of events, you know, putting information out there. You'll actually see in the chat right now the links to the Telegram so that you can join the Hoya Saxa Weekend 2021 chat and the Ask a Hoya chat. And yeah, so we would love if you could join Telegram. Also, please keep an eye on your email. There is information that we will be sending to you via email, especially on Saturday. Saturday morning, you'll get an email from us that will have your diversity in the classroom information. It will have some information about the club fair and how to sign up and how to get in. And then it will also have information on the coffee and chats and some resources that'll be available to you all afterwards. Some opportunities like classes that you can sit in and events that you can attend. Also, please follow us on social media. We love social media. We love engaging. We have a lot of fun stuff that you can interact with. There is a social media challenge, bingo challenge that you can do. And there is a I can casually say fat prize at the end. It's like pretty nice. That's all I'm gonna say. So follow us on social media, do the challenge, um, and like engage in that way. We will also there will be events that you can attend. Um, uh, like Georgetown events that are open to you all as admitted students. And so we'll be plugging those on social media as they are happening. So it'll be another way for you to check in and figure out what's happening there. And there's also lots of cute graphics of us because we're adorable. So you should look at them. And oh, the digital grab bag. So you all should have gotten an email if you registered late. There might only be one or two of you who haven't gotten an email yet. You all should have gotten an email. It was probably a little thick, but it had a bunch of information in there, including a attachment to a digital grab bag. That thing has everything that you could possibly need. It has information about all of us as committee members so that you know who you're reaching out to and who you're talking to. I know it feels weird to be reaching out to people on screen, but like we're honestly ready to be your friends already. So feel free to just pull up. There is the social media challenge on there. There's some resources on there. The Saxa Slam flyer is on there. Just tons of stuff. Oh, there is a virtual campus tour that's like, I don't know, it's a Hoya Saxa weekend, like filled with love virtual tour to sort of give you the like student version of the tour that you would get on campus. So please check that out as well. We just highlight some of our favorite places around campus. And yeah, I think that's everything. So without further ado, we are going to introduce the committee. I will just one more time introduce myself again. I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen and I will introduce myself again. And yeah, my name is Obella Obo. I'm a program coordinator in the Center for Multicultural Equity and Access. I was born and raised in Frederick, Maryland. If there's anyone in the Maryland area, we roll deep Maryland, like crab, everything, flag, everything. I went to Tuscarora High School. And when I went to college, I went to a small college on the Eastern Shore called Washington College, and I studied psychology, and then I got my master's in clinical psychology. So if there is anyone here who is particularly interested in studying psychology, I would love to chat. I also just would love to chat in general. I love to make friends. So yeah, that is me, and we are actually, oh no way, sorry, I saw that one of the the attendees is also from Frederick. We're going to jump in. I'm going to start introducing the committee members so you can learn who they are and what they do. And I'm going to kick it off with our lovely co-chair, Saham Ali. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Hello, everyone. So excited for y'all to be here today. I know the committee has worked hard to get to this point where we're so excited that we have this many people here. But yeah, like Abella said, my name is Saham. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a senior in the college, majoring in biology, global health, also pre-med. So all my pre-med people, if you are, put an emoji in the chat, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so biology, global health. I'm from Alexandria, Virginia, so DMV. Basically, DC is my home, but I'm not allowed to say I'm from DC, nor would I want to, because Virginia, just know they're in Virginia. If you're from Southern Virginia, I like you too. It's just, we out here. I went to TC Williams High School, so anyone's from there, that'd be also really cool. But yeah, some things I'm involved in campus. Other than Hoya Saxa weekend, I was part of the student government during my time here. I was a sexual assault peer educator, part of the Center for Social Justice for the past 2 years. And yeah, just dipped my toe in a lot of things. But yeah, just as me. And I guess our next person is our other wonderful co-chair, Miss Shirley Muscade. So
me, wonderful co-chair. Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to meet you. Welcome to Georgetown. Congratulations on getting in. I'm so happy for y'all. So excited to be here. My name is Shirley. I am a senior in the college. I major in English. I double minor in African American Studies and Women and Gender Studies. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. I graduated from Malden High, but if anyone's from Massachusetts, I also went to Somerville High, North High School in Worcester, and Excel High School in Boston because I moved around. So if you went to any of those, hit me up. Campus, I've been involved in Hoya Saxa Weekend for 4 years now. I actually attended my Hoya Saxa Weekend where I met my Madam Co-Chair Saham. And I'm also a community scholar and a Georgetown scholar, as is Saham. So if any of y'all are invited and have any questions about that, please let us know. I also was involved in the Brave Summit, which celebrates Black women on campus. Reventon, I was involved in that, which is a Latinx dancing showcase, and a few other things that you can see in the beautiful magazine that our publicity team created, which you'll meet in a few minutes. But I'm so glad y'all are here. I'm so grateful that y'all are here. Y'all deserve to be here. Y'all earned this. I wish it could be in person, but I hope y'all enjoy your time this weekend and get all the information that you can.
Hi guys.
And I will throw it back to, yep, I go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Ai, and I use she, her pronouns, and I am class of 2024. So I'm a freshman. And so I actually did a virtual Hoya Saxa weekend. So I was in the same boat as you guys last year. So really excited to be here and to share this Zoom room with you and many more. I am in Phoenix, Arizona right now, and I have actually never been to Georgetown, fun fact, or DC for that matter, but I am studying biology and I'm on the pre-health track, and I'm doing a disability studies minor and possibly Chinese minor. And I went to Basis Phoenix in Arizona, if anyone is from around there, and I am in a lot of things like Hoya Saxa Weekend and the Georgetown Minority Association of Pre-Health Students and other things like the Asian American Association, which is ASA, and then CSA, which is Chinese Student Alliance, and then other programs like Strike for College, and CSP, GSP, so Community Scholar and Georgetown Scholar, and much more. But you can also read that in the bios. And yeah, I'll pass it on to the next person.
Hi guys, my name is Alame. I use she, her pronouns. I am a junior in the School of Foreign Service, majoring in international politics, the concentration in international law, institutions and ethics, and a minor in French. And we'll see if I can fit a certificate in along the way. My campus involvement, like II, is pretty long, so I'll try to keep it brief. I'm on our school's mock trial team. I'm a student intern with our Center for Multicultural Equity and Access. I've also been doing Hoya Saxa Weekend in some capacity since my senior year of high school when I attended. I've been on the Black Student Alliance board since my freshman year in various capacities. I've also been on the Brave planning committee, and I'm sure there are things that I'm forgetting, but that's it for now. I'm from Owings Mills, Maryland. So I went to Maryville Preparatory School, which most people don't know. But if you know anyone that went to private school in Baltimore, they're connected in some way. So I'm sure that I know someone that you know.
All right, hi everybody. I'm also an outreach co-coordinator with Hoya Saxa Weekend. My name is Christina Reuter. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm in the class of 2023. I'm in the School of Foreign Service studying global business with a minor in Spanish. I'm from Plano, Texas, which is right outside of Dallas. And I went to Plano Senior High School. So if anyone's from Plano, I'd love to connect with you. And on campus, I'm involved in the student government, Hoya Saxa Weekend, Leaders in Education About Diversity, and I also did the pre-orientation program, Young Leaders in Education About Diversity. I'm in the Georgetown Scholars Program, the Ethiopian Eritrean Student Association, the Black Student Alliance, the Student of Color Alliance, and I work for campus ministry.
So, hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Meza. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a senior, so I'm the class of 2021, about to graduate. I am in the MSB, also known as the McDonough School of Business. I'm majoring in OPM, also known as Operations and Information Management. I'm the logistics co-coordinator for Hoya Saxa Weekend. I'm also part of, in the MSB, we have a program called PwC Smart Starts at Georgetown program. So if you want to know more about that, just let me know. I was in prior years also part of Hoyas for Immigrant Rights and just other CSJ programs, Center for Social Justice. I am from Maryland, but I'm also Peruvian American. So if any Peruvians are out here, please let me know because I rarely come across them. And yeah, for high school, I went to high school in DC, known as Czech, aka Columbia Heights Educational Campus, aka Bell High School. So yeah, that's me.
There we go. I was like my mute button. Hello, everyone. My name is Sanwana Casarina Maras. I am a senior in the School of Nursing and Health Studies, studying healthcare management and policy. I am from Asheboro, North Carolina. Any North Carolina people, please hit me up on the chat. You don't meet them here in DC, so I would love to know if you're from North Carolina. I use she, her pronouns. My campus involvement goes everywhere, but the most important one that I have been a part of for these past 4 years has been Hoya Saxa Weekend. So happy to be here. But yeah, that's what I do. Rock on.
Hey everyone, I'm Karen Mimbrera. I am a sophomore in the college. I'm also the logistics coordinator for Hoya Saxa Weekend. I use she, her pronouns. And I am in the college studying government. And on campus, I am in DC Schools Project, which is like a tutoring program under the Center for Social Justice. I'm in the board for Hoyas for Immigrant Rights. And I also did Baile Folclórico Mexicano de Georgetown during my freshman year. And that's my campus involvement. And I am from Minneapolis, Minnesota. So if you're from there, please put it in the chat. We barely have any people from the Midwest. And I went to a Cristo Rey school.
Hey everyone, my name is Ken Villafranca. He, him, his. I'm a sophomore in the McDonough School of Business as well, studying finance and marketing with a minor in education, equity, and social justice. For campus involvement, I kind of go around as well. I'm also in the tutoring program called DC Schools Project. I'm also in the PwC program with Jennifer. Other More recently, me and my friends started a new club on campus called Black Gen Capital, which is an investment fund run and owned by minority students. So that's pretty exciting for me. And then I'm from Brownsville, Texas. So 956. Is there any people? If there's any people from the 956 area code, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I'm just really excited for this Hoya Saxa Weekend.
Hello everyone, my name is Paula. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a second year at Georgetown in the college studying government. I am from Santa Ana, California. I went to Santa Ana Valley High School. A little bit about me and my involvement. I am a part of, I do programs with the Center of Social Justice, specifically with APO, which is a community service fraternity. I also did Mexican Ballet Folklorico with Karen, and I'm also in a consulting mentorship program with Deloitte. And just very recently, I was a field organizer volunteer for the Joe Biden presidential campaign for Miami-Dade County. So I'm all over the place between business and government. So if you have any questions, and if you're also from California, please hit me up.
Hey y'all, I'm Natalie Issei. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a junior in the School of Foreign Service. My major is international politics with a concentration in international security and a minor in Italian. I'm from Tampa, Florida, and I went to Tampa Preparatory High School. I've been involved in Hoya Saxa Weekend for 4 years now because I went in 2018 and I've been on the committee for 3 years. Other stuff I'm involved with on campus is I worked in the photo section at the Hoya, which is the school newspaper. I've been involved in the Center for Social Justice, and I've been involved with Puerto Rican Student Association.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anai. I am a senior in the college studying computer science and sociology. I grew up in Commerce City, Colorado, so if anyone's around the Denver area, let me know. There's very few people here. So I went to Adams City High School, and I was during Georgetown, I was involved in Hoya's for Immigrant Rights. And now I currently work at CMEA as an intern. And then I also work as a web developer here. And so I'm also undocumented. So if any of y'all have any questions about that, let me know.
Oh, sorry, I'm next. Hi, everyone. My name is Arisai Gonzalez Porras. I'm a senior, just my last year. My major is American Studies and minoring in Spanish. Currently writing a thesis. I do not recommend it. Ask me in 4 years if I'll recommend it again. My pronouns are she, her, ella. Let's see what else. I was president for 2 years of Hoyas for Immigrant Rights. It's my baby club, and I will forever, ever hold it in my heart. So if you join it, please, please, take care of it, do the activism, reach out. Currently also undocumented, DACA recipient. I have 2 homes. I consider Mexico my first home, and then Arizona my second home. And the high school I went to, Skyline High School, I'm not sure if anyone knows it. It's pretty in the middle of nowhere, but it's okay. We're in the desert, 6 hours from the Grand Canyon, so you'll probably never find it. It's okay. And I'll pass it on to Thais.
Thank you, Arisaid. So my name's Thais. I am a senior. Well, first, my pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a senior in the SFS, the School of Foreign Service, studying culture and politics with a theme in immigration. I am from Pomona, California, and I went to Gary High. So if there's any Pomona peeps in the house, please hit me up. I used to be a coordinator for a DC Schools project. Now I'm a co-leader for the alternative break program called Kino Border Immersion. I was part of I still am part of the Georgetown Scholars Program. I'm also part of the Community Scholars Program, and I'm currently the publicity coordinator for Hoya Saxa weekend. So I'm excited to be here, and I think I'll go ahead and pass it to Obella.
Yeah, so that is your lovely Hoya Saxa Weekend Committee. They're going to be taking care of you over the course of the next 3 days. They have planned a lot of really, really amazing stuff for you all. And they are really going to help guide you through this decision and through this weekend. So thank y'all for being here. And we are actually going to kick it over to our admissions team. I'm going to jump over to May Hinton, and we'll introduce them. We are ever grateful to the admissions team. That is how we get the opportunity to meet you all beforehand. So we're really excited for you all to meet them.
Absolutely. Thanks, Obella. So first and foremost, I just want to say from the entire admissions office, just congratulations on your acceptance to Georgetown for all the admitted students out there. It was definitely a very competitive year, and we know that the caliber of the accepted student pool is very, very high. So you should definitely be giving yourself a pat on the back for that. My name is May Hinton. I'm one of the associate directors of undergraduate admissions here at Georgetown. I'm a Texas native and actually went to Plano West Senior High School. So you heard Christina just a moment ago introduce herself from Plano as well. Very large high schools in Plano, Texas. So my graduating class was 862. Christina's was probably even bigger than that. So I definitely know what it's like to go to a very large public high school. For my own education, for my undergraduate experience, I was a biology major. I know there's been some biology love in the room already. And so just wanted to say I was part of that as well. I went to a school in New Jersey for undergrad, and then also completed a master's in education from Harvard. I've been with Georgetown now for about 6 years and loved every moment of it. Really I've taken in that Jesuit spirit that we talk about quite a bit, and you'll hear a lot about that this weekend. And for any of the admitted student events that you go to, you'll hear a lot about the Jesuit traditions. For Georgetown, I regionally oversee Florida and Georgia, so I always like to say I'm very lucky I get the sunny states, and very much looking forward to when we can travel again and actually see prospective students like yourself in person again. So that hopefully is on the horizon. And then also in the admissions office, I work on the multicultural admissions team, and I also liaise with the Georgetown Scholars Program, so GSP. A couple of students have already mentioned that they're part of that program, and you'll definitely hear more about GSP throughout the weekend. So I'll go ahead and turn things over to my colleague, Jaime. I'll let him introduce himself.
Great. Thank you so much, May. I'm so excited to be here. Welcome to Georgetown. Bienvenidos a todos. It is so exciting to have all of you here. As May said, I'm part of a team in the admissions office that has enjoyed reading all about your accomplishments, your essays, your everything that you put together. We couldn't be more excited to welcome you, and we hope that you bring your talents to the hilltop. After, I hope, the next few days and throughout the month, you will learn more about Georgetown. I am also a native Texan, by the way, so there's quite a few Texans here from San Antonio, the home of the best breakfast tacos, I think, anywhere, so I'm a little biased. First generation college student, like some of you who are attending. I made a similar geographic leap for college. I grew up in San Antonio and went to college on the East Coast in Philadelphia and studied economics. I have been at Georgetown for about 25 years, and I absolutely love it. I hope I get a chance to share some personal stories with you about why I think Georgetown is such a special place. In the background, you see a photograph of Casa Latina, which is a great space on campus. Please look it up. I wanted to very purposely showcase that. And regionally, I'm responsible for Los Angeles. So I love going out to LA, it's the West Coast. New Mexico, I love the Southwest, and of course my home state of Texas, as well as Puerto Rico and all of Latin America and the Caribbean. So sorry, May, I think I have the better region. On that note, I'm gonna pass it to my colleague, Jenna, who's gonna tell us a little bit about herself.
Perfect, thanks so much, Jaime. Hi, everyone, welcome and congratulations again on your acceptance to Georgetown. You should definitely be proud of yourself. This is a really fantastic accomplishment. My name is Jenna Myers. I'm one of the assistant directors in the admissions office. I use she, her pronouns. I'm originally from Chicago, so shout out to anyone, Chicago in the Midwest region. I attended college on the East Coast. At Georgetown, I've been here for a little bit over a year, but I've been working in higher education for about 6.5 years. Regionally, I work with students mostly in the Midwest, and I also have the opportunity to work with students in the Washington, D.C. area. But in the office, I work closely with my colleagues on the multicultural admissions recruitment team. I also work with some of my colleagues on the Community Scholars Program as well. So excited to have you here for these amazing 3 days. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jenna. Congratulations, everyone. So excited to see so many of you here. My name is Jimmy Aguilar, pronoun he, him, his. I was born and raised in Southeast LA, specifically Huntington Park, if anybody knows of it. So shout out to all my SoCal and Cali folks. I am a first-gen college student myself. I did my undergrad in California and went to grad school on the East Coast, like May at Harvard. And I have been at Georgetown for about 6 months now and work with students from Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana. So also shout out to anyone in those regions as well. In the office, I also work with my amazing colleagues here with programs like these, our multicultural admissions team, and with the Georgetown Scholars Program. Once again, congratulations. I'll toss it over back to Abella to introduce the rest of the CMEA team.
So we are going to jump right into introducing the amazing CMEA team. And we are going to start off with the lovely, illustrious Miss Charlene Brown McKenzie.
Hello, 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 wherever you are around the country. Thank you so much for spending your Thursday evening with us. We are in such a time, class of 2021. You have already shown tremendous fortitude during a double pandemic. We congratulate you on your accomplishments, your admissions to Georgetown, and we welcome you to the virtual hilltop. By introduction, I am Charlene Brown McKenzie, pronouns she, her, hers. I am a first-generation college student. I'm an immigrant. I thrive on my Afro-Caribbean roots and I welcome you to this space. I speak to you as the director of the CMEA, the Center for Multicultural Equity and Access. You will hear the name and feel the soul over the next couple of days. Who are we? What is our office? You will meet the team that is the heartbeat of the work. We provide academic support services. We offer diversity education and multicultural programming. We support our local community, the District of Columbia area, with pre-college and academic enrichment for our Midland High School families. We have another support service through the advocacy of Undocu Hoyas and HFIR and the amazing students that you have already met tonight and will meet through the weekend, formed an undocumented student support services team member and work. And we offer a campus collaboration space. We don't do the work of having Georgetown be a community in diversity on our own. We do that in collaboration. Hoya Saxa Weekend is one of those collaborations with our partners in the Office of Admissions. So over the next few days, you will meet faculty, staff, and students. Listen, just by the introductions alone of our student committee, you know you are in good company of tremendously, brilliantly talented Hoyas, and we hope you will take a sneak peek into their lived experiences prior to Georgetown and as it has shaped who they are now. So the big word of the night and through the weekend within the Jesuit tradition is discernment, right? How will you find meaning and belonging? What will allow you to be your best self? And what will allow you to surpass your ancestors' wildest dreams? That is our hope for you over the next couple of days. I am honored to be spending this time with you. I'll see you through the weekend. And I'm honored also again that I get to work with this amazing team of colleagues and campus partners that you will see throughout the next couple of days. So again, welcome to the virtual Hilltop. It is stunning weather in Washington, D.C., and we hope to welcome you here in the fall, should you choose us after your discernment process. So I will kick it now to my colleague, Daylin.
Hi, everyone. My name is Daylin Moon. I use she, her pronouns. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, California. So if you know 626, I rep it heavily. I identify as a cisgender Black woman and am also a proud first-gen college graduate student as well. I attended a small all-girls Catholic high school, so also shout out to the folks in the room who went to all-girls Catholic high schools. I see you, I hear you, where I was one of 6 Black women and then continued my educational studies at 2 different Jesuit institutions where I was one of 6% of Black students. So I like to say my education was #JesuLit. Please, let's make that trend. I am the Assistant Director of Academic Success in the Center for Multicultural Equity and Access, and I support students academically, whether that be through our academic seminars, workshops, advising, and anything in between. I'm always here for a chat if you need it. And I also support the Community Scholars Program. So I would also like to introduce a friendly face. This is Davida Vishendat. She grew up in Waldorf, Maryland, and is temporarily residing in Chicago at the moment. She wishes she could be here with you all in this Zoom room, but she is currently away facilitating an affinity space for APIDA educators. A little bit about her: she identifies as a cis brown woman born to Indo-Guyanese immigrants and is also a proud first-gen college graduate who grew up in a working class family. So big ups to those who were also on free and reduced meals in school. She loves the work that she does and it's deeply personal to her in supporting students who mirror her own identities and backgrounds. She currently serves as the Associate Director in CMEA for Academic and Student Support Services, which means that she works with students and supports them as they navigate the ups and downs and complexities of Georgetown. which includes supporting students holistically on all topics. So nothing is really off the table with DaVita. She also serves as the director of the Community Scholars Program, which is a 53-year-old organization that supports the access and success of students from underserved communities. So if you received an invitation to attend the Community Scholars Program, please feel free to reach out to DaVita or myself with any questions or concerns. CSP is one of the big things that GU has to offer, and is something that she wishes she experienced when she was in college. So congratulations again to the folks in the room, and remember to ask any and all the questions. This is a huge life decision, and we want to equip you with all the information possible so that you can make the most informed decision for yourself. Best of luck, and Hoya Saxa. And I will toss it over to Alice.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Allison Dosaraj. First, I just want to say congratulations to all of you on this amazing accomplishment. It really is a huge, big deal. A little bit about myself. I was actually born at Georgetown Hospital, and that's because it was the only hospital that would take my parents without health insurance. I'm actually DC native, but I grew up in PG County, Maryland, Langley Park to be specific. If anybody's from High Point High School out there, that's where I went to high school. I got a BA in history from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Then I got an MFA in nonfiction from the Ohio State University, and then a PhD in American Studies with a concentration in critical race theory from the University of Maryland. I am currently the academic director of the Community Scholars Program, which has just been a real joy for me. I also teach in the English department. So if you ever need anyone to look over a paper, or you need some feedback, or you just want to come chat, I am your professor. I am here for you. I'm here to answer any questions that you need. And again, just so excited for your accomplishment. I really hope to see you all on the hilltop in the fall. Hoya Saxa. And I'm going to turn it over to one of my absolute favorite people, Venice.
Thanks, Alice. Hi, everybody, and congratulations on your acceptance. My name is Venice Antrim. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Assistant Director for Student Success and Multicultural Programming in the CMEA. I am from Bowie, Maryland, which is also in Prince George's County. I went to the best high school in the county, Eleanor Roosevelt High School. So if there are any Raiders in the room, welcome. I advise our affinity residences, so the Black House and Casa Latina, which Jaime mentioned, and you'll get to meet my lovely residents tomorrow. They're great, ask them all the questions. I also advise our Leaders in Education about diversity, which is a peer education diversity group. We also have Young Leaders in Education about diversity, which was mentioned by one of the co-chairs, by some of the co-chairs and some of the committee. And that is a great opportunity if you do decide to come to Georgetown to spend your pre-orientation program with us talking about identity and anything related to that. So please, please, please get involved. I also like to talk and hang out with students, share my experiences. I also went to a PWI. So happy to talk about that experience as well. And again, just want to say congratulations and keep pushing through this pandemic. And I will toss it to Jen.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome and congratulations. My name is Jen Kriwak, and I'm the Associate Director for Undocumented Student Services here at Georgetown. I work with many faculty and staff across various campuses to identify and find solutions to really complex barriers that undocumented students may face. We work very hard to support you to navigate higher education, whether it's something you might think is a little bit smaller or something that's very large on a national level. And so that's very personal. And so we really work one-on-one with students and in small groups even to help you figure out what you need and to support you along your path. So I've been working with undocumented students for 11 years now. So even before DACA was ever here. And I joined our CMEA team in February of 2020. So my approach is a very personal approach. I really do respect the agency and autonomy of students. I understand that some students are super private with their immigration status, and some are national activists. And so I really take my cues from my students, and they can reach out to me by text, or some people call me. Sometimes we have a Zoom meeting. And sometimes it's just as simple as asking for a service that you need, like a DACA renewal, or how can I renew my TPS? Maybe you need some legal support, and so I can help with that. Other times it's just emotional check-ins. I had a bad day, or I had a great day, or I broke up with my boyfriend. And so I just want students to know that I'm here holistically. I see you as a whole person, not just your immigration status, and I'm here to support you in what you need. And if I don't have the answers, I will go figure them out for you. And so that's really been my approach. I really do believe that we can create a very holistic and healing community. And what we need so much right now in this next year is a lot of healing. And so my goals are really to build more opportunities for community healing in our undocumented Hoya community, just to ease loneliness and prevent burnout, whether that's activist burnout, whether you're stressed with academics. I just really want to support students so they feel like they belong here. And then a little bit more about me. I'm one of 8 kids. I am very used to being around a lot of people, and I really enjoy it. I also teach meditation and yoga, and I love somatic activities too, to keep us centered and grounded in our bodies. And so those are a couple of my interests. I graduated with a bachelor's from Rutgers University and my master's from the University of Pennsylvania. And now I'm finishing up my PhD. And so I welcome you. I thank you for being here today, and I will pass it to my awesome colleague, Angel.
Thank you, Jen. Muy buenas tardes. My name is Angel Garcia. I use he, him pronouns. I was born and raised in Managua, Nicaragua, but I call Tampa Bay, Florida home. I did all my education, undergrad and grad school in South Florida, in Miami. And I've been here at Georgetown since 2014. I serve as the assistant director and program manager for pre-college programs. So for any and all of you who are interested in one day facilitating, talking about teaching education as an opportunity that leads us to financial freedom, not just to a degree, but to a better opportunity, then I am a person that you can come talk to. My team and I, we work in community outreach programs that provide academic enrichment and psychosocial support to families and students in middle school and high school from underprivileged areas of the DMV community. Outside of that, you can catch me in pretty much any sporting event, or you can also may have your opportunity at the basketball court. Good luck. But at the end of the day, I think my number one strength is adaptability. So I would adapt to any topic where I can be useful and helpful to you. What I can say is that an advice that I have for you, as Charlene said earlier, as you're discerning in this formative process of discernment, be proud of your accomplishments, be proud of who you are, discover your voice because you have one, and use it. But more importantly, use it to do good. Use it for love, use it for healing, and we're here to support you in your journey. I will pass it to my colleague, Nikki.
Hello, everyone. They always like to save the best for last. My name is Nikki Johnson, and I am a true Washingtonian. I was born and raised in DC. I went to middle and high school in DC until my parents did the awful thing and sent me to school in Maryland. However, I came back and I graduated from Catholic University with my history degree. I love history, so if you ever want to talk or chat, just let me know. I love DC. I work with the community here. If you ever want to spend some time out in the community, if you ever want to volunteer or do anything within the DC area, please contact me. Please come to my office. And most likely I'll be reaching out to you guys to help me out with some events that we host here for middle and high school students, and the community and our community partners as well. And if I could give one advice, my one advice would be to always see the joy in things, in everything that you do, and even in coming to Georgetown. And I hope to see you in September so you can help me celebrate my birthday, because that's the most awesome day. And I will pass it back to Abella.
We need to do something about you. Thank you to the amazing CMEA team. We are going to open the floor for some questions. There are several ways that you can go about questions. At the bottom of your bar, there should be a Q&A button. I hope there's a Q&A button. And you're welcome to put questions in there. You're also just welcome to put them in the chat. And then you are also welcome to raise your hand, and we'd be happy to give you some like talking capability so that you can ask your question out. But we will leave a little bit of room for some questions. Feel free to take your time. Questions can be right now about any of the amazing services you heard from the CMEA staff, any questions you might have for the Hoya Saxa Weekend Committee or about Hoya Saxa Weekend virtual experience, any admissions questions you might have for the admissions folks here. I will also say that you will have tons of opportunities just to talk and engage on all the different resources throughout the weekend. But I think the best thing you can do is ask, you know, even if you have the same question in multiple different spaces, and see what kind of answer you get. So we do have one question in the Q&A right now, which says, what are the mental health resources like on campus? And actually, that is a great segue into a member of our CMEA team who did not get introduced, and that is Dr. John Wright. He is the counselor for the Center for Multicultural Equity and Access, and he's also actually the most amazing human being you've ever met in all of your life. Such a kind spirit, such a warm person, someone who you really feel comfortable just going to and looking for guidance on thriving. He is so encouraging, he's so validating, and he's so understanding. And so in the CMEA personally, we have a mental health resource for you, but then also I should say that we are mentally health minded like across the board. That is part of the reason that we are really centering these breaks. That is a part of my own educational background. So it's something that I can't help but center. And to that point, we have a ton of ways that we will help connect you with counseling services, be that through other offices that have embedded counselors, be that through the counseling and psychiatric services on campus, be that through external counselors who are segued into campus. So you'll be getting external counselors in your campus experience that we've advocated for, so that we have, you know, a culturally expansive and diverse competent services, be that e-services that are available on campus, and also be that sitting with you and working with you and helping you find a therapist who matches any of your specific needs. We have tons of resources that we can help guide folks through. And I love sitting down with students and helping them make the transition into any sort of mental health service. It is actually like genuinely something that I enjoy. I love the idea of pursuits of wellness. And so there are some options there. And if any other folks want to chime in or throw opinions in the chat, we can absolutely talk more about those services. Or if you have any follow-up questions, we can talk about those services. A second question that we have here is, I'm a first gen. I don't have people around me to help me through this entire process. I'm struggling with submitting my IDOC and don't think I'll be able to get a financial aid package until that is done. Is there anything direct me would help with that? So I'm gonna say a couple of things, and then I'm also gonna pass it to some admissions folks. So that is absolutely what this experience is for. So on top of, some light guidance that we will give in this webinar, there will also be times for you to have intimate conversations with folks where you can go through like any of your concerns, and people who will walk with you through those processes. I think one thing that we really want you to walk away from this experience knowing is that like you are here to meet your community, and that community starts now, also whether or not you choose to come to Georgetown. And so this community is going to be working with you. And I will also toss this question over to any of our admissions or academic advising folks if they want to chime in.
Yeah, I can go ahead and get things started just a little bit from the admissions side. My apologies, my computer is running a little bit slow, but I'm pulling a link from the Office of Student Financial Services because the best way to talk about financial aid is actually to contact your financial aid counselor to talk about your specific situation. And so it sounds like you're pulling some information together. So I just wanted to make sure that you had that information. So I'm going to pop that into the chat here. And I'll just say that I feel like our financial aid office very much does try to work with students. They understand that Georgetown is a dream school for many students, and try to make that financially feasible is very, very important. And so all of our financial aid counselors are very aware of that and are going to try to make that happen for you. So I just popped that link in, and so definitely make sure if you haven't yet, make sure that you connect with your financial aid counselor, or at least send that initial email to the financial aid team to connect with them.
Thank you, May. We also have some other questions in the chat, and then we'll cycle back to some questions that are coming in on the Q&A function. So we'll do a little bit of back and forth. We got a question around rooming, and I am going to potentially toss this to one of our CMEA folks who has previously worked in res living. And the question is, if a student is more comfortable rooming with a particular person of any kind of cultural background, is that something that they can request or is feasible or encouraged or anything like that?
Yeah, so thanks, Abella. I think our partners in Rest Living do the best they can to accommodate and honor those requests. You will have, as you complete your housing application, you will have a questionnaire that is called LPQ, Living Preference Questionnaire. And so in there, you will have the opportunity to say whether you have an incoming student, a first-year student, who you already met and who you already connected with, and you would like to room together, right? So there is, the first year is a little bit more, I will say, less likely, only because they're trying to house all the students, if that makes sense. But again, you will have the opportunity in the living preference questionnaire to solicit that, and that's totally fine. They will do their very best to honor that. As you move on from first year to second year, etc., it's pretty simple. You get to participate in live housing application where you can request your roommate. So again, first time around, make sure that you answer the living preference questionnaire, and that they will do their best to honor your request. From there on, it's pretty simple. Okay. The only other thing that I will say, that questionnaire, make sure that you answer fully, because it's gonna ask you, do you prefer to go to sleep early or later? And people sometimes leave it blank. Sometimes people just say, we'll talk about it, when I meet my roommate. No, take the time and really provide your needs and wants, because that can really make a difference. So hopefully that was helpful.
There's also a question I missed earlier on that I want to make sure I come back to. And that is, what are the ways Georgetown has affirmed and validated your identity as students and staff? And I'm going to pass that to our students first. So if any of our amazing committee members want to chime in a little bit about how Georgetown has helped them in validating their identity. Go ahead, Almer.
Thanks. I can take that super quick. I actually, when I was like in high school, had a whole like thing with being Black but not being stereotypically Black, and like a whole thing that I was like dealing with. And I remember it was really students that helped me once I got to Georgetown, because I joined the Black Student Alliance my freshman fall. And these are people that I had known for maybe all of 3 days after reading my application. And someone that I knew, like, I made a joke of, oh, this doesn't mean that you're like actually Black yet. And literally everyone on the board that I did not know fully was like ready to like get up and be like, why would you say that? Like, obviously she's Black, she is Black and she's on this board, to like leave it alone. So I think from that forward, it's really been students and offices like the Center for Multicultural Equity and Access that have been super helpful in realizing that like you in whatever form that you are your identity, and you don't have to fit into whatever box you have been told your identity must conform into. So I think that's been super helpful in terms of the support that I've gotten, whether it's through clubs like Black Student Alliance or Black House or NAACP, things like that. Also just students as we get older, realizing some, like unlearning some of the things that we've been taught is really helpful. There are also professors that are amazing in the African American Studies department specifically, like Professor Ndubuizu, who hopefully you guys will meet if you choose to come here, who are just really helpful in teaching you things outside of what you have been taught by society and by media, and how you can subscribe to your identities without choosing to force yourself into the ways that you've been taught your identity must be expressed. So hopefully that was helpful for whoever's question that was.
And I also guess to add to that as well, it's just like Alame said, it's the community. Can folks hear me? I feel like my mic is weird. Cool beans. But I feel like it's the students that really make the community, right? But then also Georgetown itself also has like departments and places that also support students. I'm thinking of the LGBTQ Resource Center. We have the Women's Center. I know for me as a person who is Muslim, there's also a MSA, Muslim Student Association, that's also been a community as well. Campus ministry, and also great. I've been working there since my sophomore year. I've been involved since my freshman year. There's just so many outlets where you can find your community, find your people. There's so many cultural clubs. Like, I'm just thinking of all, there's literally the list, there's like hundreds, and like, you can find that community and be immersed in, like, for me, the first time was being with a lot of more Muslims, because I grew up and there was not a lot of Muslims in my high school. So like coming to Georgetown, I was like, oh, they're like people, like even though there's not a lot of us, we were able to come together and be a thing. So there are ways that my identity was uplifted at Georgetown, right? Just being surrounded by people. So it's also what I wanted to add. If other committee members want to jump in, feel free.
And maybe as other committee members jump in, there are some other questions in the chat, and I'm just going to start to throw them out because I think this is sort of thematically connecting. So we have some questions about what the student community is like, and whether there is competition, and like whether there's collaboration, most likely both, but how do those show up? What is student activism like? And whether there is options there around like abolitionist oriented programming and education options. How does the school encourage the integration of culture on campus? And this all tying into the original question around how Georgetown has validated your identity. So it sounds like there's just a lot of students who are interested in where the Georgetown experience and identity align, both as students and as staff. So if some more folks in the committee are interested in chiming in, or even some of the staff members on this call. Also, while we wait for folks to chime in, some questions are being answered in the Q&A function. So if you go to answers, you should be able to see some of those as well. More of the logistical questions.
I see Ethan's question in the chat, and it just made me think of a memory I had at Georgetown. It's the how does school encourage the integration of culture on campus? And it immediately made me think of Rangila. So Rangila is a showcase on campus, and like it was literally, I did it last year for the first time, and it's like this dance showcase, and people sign up to dance, do South Asian inspired dance. And usually I cannot dance for my life. And I was like, how can I do this on a stage for people for 2 nights? And it was really good because I got to learn a lot about South Asian culture a lot. And then there's also Reverend Dawn, which is Latinx, the dance showcase that Shirley mentioned that she was a part of. I have videos. She looked amazing. Ooh, I'm just thinking about it. It was so great. But yeah, that also like allows people to not only learn dances, but also the culture and all that. So that's at least 2 ways that I can think of off the top of my head about that. It just popped up a great memory. Thank you for asking that question, Ethan.
I can answer a bit about the student organizing and activism. So I was involved in activism as soon as I entered Georgetown. It was December of 2017 when it came to the DREAM Act, which the DREAM Act, I can go on about the DREAM Act. But it was like mobilizing, finding outside communities, because at that time, Georgetown didn't really have the activism culture yet. And so I reached out to different organizations in the DC area. One of them was United We Dream. And then that's how I started to get involved. And so then I brought that activism back onto campus, but restructured Hoyas for Immigrant Rights, brought it back to life. And then we started doing a lot of like mobilization when it came to different campaigns, especially being so close to the Capitol and the White House. And during like the Trump administration, there was a protest almost every single day. And then eventually, like, there's orgs on campus that do certain like activism to push for more resources. And the one I can think of is with, there was a Black Survivors Coalition, and there was a sit-in at the president's office in order to get more resources for Black survivors specifically. And they were able to create so much power through that activism and that sit-in that lasted like a whole week. And it was constant, like students never leaving the president's office until there was action done from Georgetown administration. So there's different scenarios that happen, different opportunities on campus as well through GUSA, which is like the Georgetown student government that we have. I don't even know the acronym anymore. But yeah, there's definitely multiple ways. It just depends on like the outlets you want to find, whether you want to focus specifically on Georgetown or look outside of the Georgetown bubble and go into the DC community.
Something that I wanted to like plug real quick. So there have been a couple of questions in the chat around like health regulations as it pertains to the fall. And the short answer is we don't know yet. But there are tons of ways for you to stay sort of up to date, to be able to get email updates and anything like that. And I think our director, Charlene Brown McKenzie, is going to chime in a little more on that.
Yes, I've been typing vigorously just to say that the coronavirus, Georgetown coronavirus website will provide you with updates as they come in from university administration regarding fall operations. As we monitor DC guidelines, it is the intent that the university will be inviting all students back for fall 2021, and that will continue to be updated as we know more. There was a question around about rooming assignments. Decisions again have not been made about the residential spaces for fall 2021. But again, announcements will come out and please continue to see updates at the university's coronavirus website.
I am going to ask if there are any of our committee members, STEM committee members, who can talk a little bit about resources, especially for POC and STEM, or just across the STEM community. LOL, I saw some sounds.
It's just me. I am glad. I am STEM. Hello. Yes. So resources for POCs and the pre-med track. So one of, I think I mentioned, I also was involved in the Georgetown University Minority Association for Pre-Health Students, aka GUMAPS, very long title, but they have chapters across the country. And there's where we have like a lot of opportunities for just for students who are POC minorities and all that, just to get resources that we might not be able to access on our own. Like, I know I've got like a free MCAT book before, and that's been sitting on my shelf. That's another story. But there's a lot of there's times where we're able to shadow like doctors at Georgetown Hospital. A lot of amazing like big and little programs in it. So there's a lot of resources that students create that's funneled through the national organization. I know through that I've been able to apply for internships, get it because of the connections I have within the chapter being a member. So that's like one of the like resource that we have that is student run. I know through the community scholars program, there's also the Regent Scholars. So if you are majoring in the sciences, you also have the opportunity to be part of that. The Regent Scholar program is, yeah, I'm also a member of the Regent Scholar program. A lot of hats that I wear, but it's also another resource headed by Heidi Emlendorf, which is one of the amazing biology professors. Love her to death. She's also one of my advisors. She also teaches the Intro to Foundations course for biology. So you all will be seeing her if you are STEM in the fall, in whatever regard that's going to be in person, online. But also the professors are really great. I feel like they, especially Professor Elmendorf, really wants students to achieve, and she puts a lot of time and effort to make sure like the Regent Scholars and even all her students like feel comfortable and are ready to like be in the sciences and all that. So I'm trying to think what else. There's also like a pre-med society that we also have at Georgetown that's not specifically centered towards POC, but one thing that I would really recommend for people if you're coming to Georgetown. Oh, there's also minority pre-law as well. Another plug for people who are on the law track. But GU Maps, I feel like that was a great decision that I picked when I first came. And yeah, it's helped a lot.
And I think for a lot of the students that are asking about clubs and orgs, I think there is 200 plus clubs and organizations on campus. I think there was a question about Latinx clubs and orgs. I think that there is there is LLF, the Latinx Leadership Forum. There is almost an association. There's MECHA. There's an association for almost every country and nationality. I that was a bit overwhelming my first year, that there was almost like every country had a group on campus. But then there is also the overarching umbrella groups. I think that there is an opportunity for you to find the place that you want to feel. I think that's something to share. I also wanted to share about a STEM that we in CMEA, we also work a lot with Society of Physics, with GU Women Coders. We work with Gumshoe, which is a math hands-on enrichment program that provide community outreach on STEM to DMV area, especially the community of color, middle school, high school students of color in the area. So that's also another, if you want to be part of also doing the outreach, right? Mentoring others. I think that there's opportunities for that.
I'm gonna actually draw attention to another question that is just one that I generally love, which is around how you find your people in college, how you find your crowd. And my short answer for that question is to be yourself and explore yourself and do that really internal, deep self work that a Jesuit, multicultural, competent institution can allow you to do. And really, like, when you are yourself, the people who are looking for you will find you. And it is very much about, finding the things that you love and are passionate about and engaging in those things, and finding the other people who are also passionate about those things and engaging in those things. And I think I'm gonna pass it off to Alame, who has her hand raised.
Oh, I was gonna say that's obviously super amazing advice in terms of what you can like physically do your freshman year. What I did was join as many clubs as like physically possible for the first couple of weeks, which I don't super recommend in terms of mental health and balance. But I think so much what Abella was saying, find what makes you passionate, join things based on that so that you're exposed to people that have the same interests and you can actually meet people. I think the benefit of your first couple weeks, really the first couple months of your first fall on campus is everybody wants to make friends. Everybody wants to be friends with everyone, like everyone wants to find their people. So it's really easy to just turn around to the person next to you at like African Society of Georgetown Club meeting and be like, hey, you know, this is my name, what's your name? You know, let's be friends and figure out where we're going from there. And then the people that you meet will introduce you to the people that they've met, things like that. But I'm a firm believer in the things that are meant for you won't pass you by. Because I think everyone goes to this super stress, or at least I went through this super stress my first fall of I have to find my best friends within the next like week. If I don't find my best friends within a week, then I won't have any friends for the next 4 years. And it's really not accurate. I've met like my best friend, the person that I live with right now, my sophomore spring. So it's no rush. You will find your people when it's time for you to find your people. And it's just in terms of things that you can actually do to like maybe facilitate the process, is I would just say like leave your dorm room, go to things, be a little uncomfortable for the first couple of days and just say hi to people.
Oh, go ahead.
Hi, Obella. There's a great question in the Q&A that I want to throw out there versus type. Is Georgetown social justice work mainly in the DC area, or has it extended nationally and internationally? And I know when I was an undergrad, I did a lot of work with CSJ. A lot of the committee talked about CSJ. So I don't want to type that in. So if any of the committee members want to shout out alternative breaks programs, things that they've done nationally and internationally, please feel to jump in.
I can go again. Hello. I feel like this any other committee member. I know other folks have done things. Here we are. Hi. So alternative breaks program, I was a program leader this past, starting my sophomore year. So whatever year that was. I led a trip. This is an international trip. I led a trip to India focusing on global health and the intersection it has with religion. So the fact that I was able to do that, I've never been to India. I know I'm very passionate about global health as my major is biology of global health. And the opportunity just to look and just to be there and like work with international organizations, Children Family Health International, CFHI, and like just plan a trip just to go to India, observe doctors in hospitals, go to organizations, go to government offices and talk with people just to see the whole like narrative about not Sahama's at all. Yikes. Here we are. But what was I? Yeah, I think it at the Center of Social Justice, they offer so many amazing things. And I was so lucky to do this because not only was able to go to abroad and as a science person, it's really hard to try to fit that. I went in 2020 before the whole pandemic occurred. So I was lucky I was able to do that. But I know other folks also did alternative break programs. They're also all over the United States. There's also some international ones. They were canceled because of COVID. I know there were some that was going to Peru and all that. But yeah, I also don't want to talk too much. So if there's someone else, take
Karen,
it away.
I think is going to jump in.
Yes, Karen, please do.
Yeah, I'm part of DC Schools Project, which is kind of like it's a mentoring, tutoring, and advocacy program. And we basically offer English tutoring to people who come from immigrant backgrounds. And so we try to help them as much as we can. And our tutees can range from, being like a kindergartner to even on-campus workers at Georgetown who are, just trying to increase their English literacy or even help them study for their citizenship tests. And so we just mainly work with the DC community, and that's mainly it. I know there's a lot of awesome programs in the CS through the Center for Social Justice. There's, I don't know if there's other people involved in the Center for Social Justice that want to speak about those, but I love DC Schools Project, and it's honestly been the highlight of my time at Georgetown.
I want to draw attention to one question that I think is like, I really like it. I think it's a really good question. I think there are probably some folks in this Zoom room who will have some good advice for the students. So someone asked, how do we avoid the freshman 15? What kind of resources are there to keep up our health and fitness with our newfound sense of freedom away from home? Does anyone want to jump in? Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I can speak on that. Once we're back on campus, we have a really big gym called Yates. Yates is a really nice facility filled with a lot of weights and a running track as well, a bunch of treadmills, a bunch of bicycles, and just a lot of space in general once we do get back on campus. And Yates is open, but even outside, like in the DC area in Georgetown, there's so much space. There's so many trails to kind of run around, and you just really just exercise in whatever fashion you really enjoy. Also in front of right in front of the campus, there's this really big lawn called Copley Lawn and Healy Lawn, and it's just a large space where like a lot of students go like play spike ball, do yoga, whatever it may be, and it's just like a really fun way to meet with friends and just keep active and just lose those calories and burn those calories. And there's a lot of trails near DC, and there's a trail to like the monument as well that I did like during the pandemic. So there's a lot of like ways to keep like active and motivated.
Oh, go ahead, Dalen.
Yeah, I just want to add, as someone who has gained a freshman 15 once upon a time, and also as someone who has gained a pandemic 15 in the more recent future, I'm just going to add here of the goal is to love your body in all of its form and to feel comfortable. So I say that to say of it's okay if you put on a little weight, it's okay if you lose a little weight, as long as you feel comfortable in your skin and you feel confident in who you are and how you show up in spaces. That's the goal, and do so in a healthy manner.
The whole tea and nothing but the tea. Another question we have in the chat. So we have about 10 minutes. I'll actually say we'll probably ask this question, see if there's one more question from anyone, and then we'll wrap up. Because I would like you to have like a little bit of breather before you jump into the game night. But I'm really excited because it sounds like you all are amazing and having a good time and getting some questions answered. So we're very excited about that. The last question we have in here is what kind of POC leaders, political activists, the political leaders, and otherwise have you guys had the opportunity of meeting at Georgetown? And I know y'all have met some cool people. No Name signed a little slip that Alame brought for me. So like, I know there's been people up in here, so y'all have some good stories. We're seeing Andrew Yang in the chat, Hassan Minhaj, Michelle Obama, Hillary Clinton.
Jonetta Cole, I was fangirling real hard that day.
Meek Mill, Bernie Sanders, No Name, Demetrius Harmon came. Oh, and Bill, both the Clintons. Good chunk of the 2020 presidential candidates. DeRay McKesson. I think one of the great things about Georgetown is one of the great things about Georgetown is oh yeah, Logan Browning did come. That was so cool. Bradley Cooper. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool people who come here. And not only that, but if there are people who you admire, there are ways to get involved and try and bring those people into these spaces, so that you can really take advantage of the type of connectivity that that Georgetown can bring. Yes, the lecture fund. Also, Colin Powell came, Rupi Kaur came. Different groups try and bring a different speaker every year. And I think we'll make this the last question because one more question just came in the chat and we have a few minutes left. So quickly, what have your experiences been like in DC as students? I can tell you as a staff member, DC is lit, and there's a lot to take advantage of. And both just like in terms of enjoyment, food, etc., but also like ways that you can engage with the city in really cool ways. And so if any of our committee members or other staff members want to talk a little bit about DC, Christina?
Yeah, so sorry. I was actually in the Explore DC Living Learning Community my freshman year. It's actually in Darnell Hall. I don't know what you guys know about it. It's like notoriously not the best freshman hall, but they did have that LLC and they would take us around to like different museums, like the Newseum. I think it actually closed, but that one was pretty cool. But the great thing about DC is like there's so many free museums. All of them are free, the Smithsonian's, and there's everything from like the African American History Museum to a space museum to like the Natural History Museum and everything in between, like a Native American History Museum. And so if you really like art and culture, it's definitely a great place. There's a lot of food to try, like every different cuisine around the world. And you can honestly just walk around and you'll see like an embassy on every corner for different countries. And so I just really love the aesthetic of the city and the different things to do here.
There's also some DC enthusiasts dropping gems in the chat as well. Anyone else want to talk about just some of their DC experience? Maybe one more person to wrap it up.
I can speak if it's okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like something that you might hear and that is very common is the Georgetown bubble. And if you attend Georgetown, it's going to be very easy to stay on campus, which is okay because we're like very much in the corner of DC. Metro or train access is not as close, but there are shuttles that can bring you into the city. Uber prices are not that bad compared to like other cities like Boston. So that's another way. And something that I miss so much and used to do all the time is go to concerts. And I would go alone if nobody wanted to go because I was going to see my favorite people. And I think that's another just good grown up college thing. No matter where you go, just get comfortable doing things by yourself. If it's something that you really want to do, obviously do it safely. Let someone know where you are. But I super duper recommend if you come to DC, like exploring the different concert arenas and venues because, you know, music, live music. And I pray we can get back to that post-COVID. So yeah.
Okay, so some final things. And there will be, this is just the tip of the iceberg. It is day one, it is hour 2 of 3-day hour, I don't know how many, and honestly we shouldn't count. But there will be so many more opportunities to dialogue about this. There will be so many more opportunities to continue to learn more about what's available for you in DC. There will be so many opportunities for you to engage with other students so that you're already building a network, a community, like a knowledge base, a group that you can go it with or just the fortification to be able to go it on your own if you're a thug like Shirley. And yeah, we're gonna set y'all up over the course of the next 2 days. So some like shopkeeping things before we close up, and we'll have like a minute or two left. I'm going to drop in the chat the first evaluation. It's the same evaluation every time, but you fill it out for each event. I would really appreciate it if y'all could fill that out for me. And again, I am already sorry for my annoying asking you this every time at the end of every event. Also, if some of the committee members could drop the Telegram in the chat, that is just another plug for an opportunity to just stay up on, what we're doing, what's happening. There's a general chat for folks, and then where announcements will come, and there's also a place where you can go to ask questions. I know a lot of this logistically can feel a little weird. I guess core of your stuff is going to be in your admitted student panel, or admitted student website. Y'all know portal. That's the word I was looking for. Admitted student portal is where you can find the links to the other Zoom rooms. Our next event, the game night, will be in a separate Zoom room, so go check your admitted portal for that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you have the Telegram, you have email. You also can follow us on Instagram, and we will be posting updates on there as well, and people will be aware of what's happening there, so you can message, follow us, and come join us at game night. Otherwise, thank you all for being here. Thank you to our amazing group of panelists, the admissions team, the Hoya Saxa Weekend Committee, and all their beauty and glory, and my amazing CMEA family. I am eternally grateful for all of you. Thank you to all of our attendees for being here. I hope that you have a great time over the course of the next 2 days. I hope you build connections with us. I hope you build connections with the other students. I hope that you learn a lot, and I hope you get from this what you are looking to get from this. Please stay engaged. We are really excited about this, and we will see y'all in the next Zoom room. Thank you.